Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown, and we welcome you inside our KDKA studios. Have a lot to talk about. We'll get into the Penguins. Should Sidney Crosby be considered as an MVP of the league? What about Chris Letang returning so soon after having stroke conditions? Also, we're going to talk about the Pirates and the fact that they have the #1 overall pick in the draft for the second time in 3 games. But the #1 topic tonight, of course, will be the Steelers, who lost a big game for them today. And here to debate it is your panel. We welcome in Joe Raven. Joe Starkey, for the first time in 5 years, is back. How are you, Joe?
The time is right, Bob.
The time is right.
Thank you for having me. We never tested the microphones. How do I,
is it working? You sound loud and clear.
You did not feel or sound comfortable in the 10 minutes that
No, it's been a while.
this year.
All right, well, Andrew Fillipponi from the PM team in the middle, and over to his left, my right, wherever you're looking at, it's Will Graves, the Associated Press. So we have a lot to get into, gentlemen, so I want to start with the Steelers, and the #1 reason why they lost this game today was why, Joe Starkey?
The #1 reason they lost, Bob, is because the highest paid defense in the NFL, the great defense, the dominant defense that Mike Tomlin was anticipating, couldn't stop the run when you had a quarterback who was literally incapable of moving the ball via pass. I mean, are you kidding me with this defense right now? This run defense? That second last drive, and then, of course, the last first down was ridiculous, was embarrassing. Like all-time embarrassing for the Steelers.
Andrew, was it that or was it turnovers? Do you agree with Joe?
Well, I left that game more upset about the defense. I mean, of all the things that would bother me.
They gave up 16 points. I mean,
well,
you'll hear that part of it.
See, and I saw that argument. Actually, I'll just name the person. It was Dunlap, for whatever reason, that was trying to stick up for their defense in this game. Could you imagine if we were on a show back more than 5 years ago, when Joe was a regular on this show, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, and a guy named Anthony Brown came off the bench against Troy Polamalu and that defense to win a game? And they're getting, but to Joe's point, they're getting paid to be that kind of defense.
Right.
They've got Mike Tomlin, they've got Brian Flores. What happened today, where everybody in the building knows they're going to run the ball like Watt said, that should not happen. Plus, he did make 2 throws to Robinson and Andrews to extend that drive too, Will.
I mean, you guys vented about the defense. I'll say, look, I'm a Mitch guy. Sorry, Pony. I don't know if we can sit next to each other.
I don't know why you would still be after that game.
I mean,
Will.
but
He sucked.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he was good except for the parts where he was bad, right?
What's that mean?
I mean, as Chris Adamski pointed out, they had 22 first downs today. It's the first time since 2020 they had that many, and that was with him under center. No 3 and outs with him at quarterback. That is obviously, I mean, that's something the offense's word has had issues with all year. But, man, the decision-making, first pick I'm okay with. The last 2, I mean, if you're trying to showcase yourself for your next team, he had a real good chance to do it today, and he kind of blew it.
But why are we okay with the first pick? Because people came out on Twitter and said that 2 receivers were in the same place?
Yes.
Why should the ball have gone there, though, in the first place?
Because
Pickens had single coverage on the outside.
According to your guy, Chris Hoke, according to Trey Essex, Steven Sims ran the wrong route, brought his guy
Sims
right into that area.
Sims admitted it today in post-game.
Apparently, we've switched to a Mitch Trubisky topic here.
No. You guys are going in.
This is where we're going. I'll go there.
This is more of a natural, free-flowing conversation now that we're all so close.
All right, go wherever you want.
Let's do it in the box, Joe. Now you're not in the box.
Listen, I would rather Mitch play the style he played today than the weak loser mentality, be careful, don't make a mistake he did early in the season. I give him a pass on the first pick. I give him a pass on the last pick. That's what we all wanted him to do. Throw the ball, take a shot down the field.
I mean, like in the press box, I was like, oh my God.
At the 1 yard line. That cost them the game? I don't know about that. The second one was horrible. I'll take that Mitch Trubisky today over the Mitch Trubisky I saw earlier in the season.
But my issue with the last one is that's not a situation where you're not in scoring range and an interception is like a punt. You're expecting to come away with that drive with points, and he just threw it up into double coverage.
Maybe. Now I will say
that's maybe.
Well, no, it's from the 46. Boswell hit 63-yard field goals?
Was it? You think that's it? They're going to punt the ball?
I don't know. He could go backwards there. He's under a heavy rush all day.
On that play, it looked like he had plenty of time, and he was like, oh, what the hell? Like, that's what it looked like to me. He was like, what are they going to do,
I want
bench
to
me?
see the what the hell Mitch more often.
I agree. I mean, like, he made some great throws. I mean, the one down the sideline to Deontay was a great throw. He moved well. To be fair, the line was better, by the way, when he got in there. I mean, Kenny was, when he was in there for the brief time he was in there, he was running for his life. right? So the line was better. But
all right.
it was on 16 points. Yes, defense bad. 16 points enough to win. Mitch kind of threw it away.
He
First
should
time
go
in 5 years, now you're taking over the show. I'm trying to get you to
like you do on my radio show, Bob.
Okay.
You walk in and take it over.
Make your point. Make your point.
That if you're going to throw 50-50 balls, I'll agree with these guys, or less than 50-50, throw it to Pickens and not Deion.
Right.
They threw it to Sims more than Pickens today.
4-3.
Like, how does that happen? And I'll say this. I don't know if you planned on this, Bob, because you didn't tell me before the show. I would go.
Now you're demanding.
If Kenny can't play, I would go to Rudolph for the next game.
Well, that was my next question.
Oh.
Before we get to there,
Well,
and you know how I feel about him. I'd still
before we
do
get
that.
to there, I have to ask you this: Kenny Pickett left the game, went to the blue tent. You saw how long he was in that blue tent, and he came back apparently cleared, and then he wasn't cleared. And I understand concussions are a tough thing, and they have the best doctors over there. They do. I know them. They're wonderful. But does that strike you as strange that within just a couple of plays that changed?
Very strange. I mean, look, it wasn't a cursory, is he okay? I mean, he was in there for probably 5 to 6 minutes to the point where Mitch took a couple of snaps with Mason Cole to get ready. So you thought, okay, well, Kenny's out, and then he's in. And I didn't see anything in the series that he was in that made me think, well,
Didn't get touched.
So that's the part that's weird. If he'd gotten hit again, I'd been like, okay, take him out. That was the part that if I'm the NFL, look, after the Tua thing this year, they added language to the rules saying, hey, stability, mobility. But that, he looked fine. Like, that wasn't it. So what symptom did he show? And Mike's answer afterwards was not great, to be honest with you.
What do you mean by that? Not great.
He said, I don't know the sequence. That's what he said. He said, I don't know the sequence.
So when you say not great, you're leaving room for criticism
optically,
there.
I think optically, if this league is adamant about player safety, it is just bizarre. Like, it's just weird. Like, it looks bad. Like, with the Tua stuff, the league said that the Dolphins did the right thing, but it looked bad, and they changed the rules.
The whole system is flawed. Okay? One thing we know about concussions, and it's not a lot, even the experts, is that sometimes symptoms won't show for minutes, like maybe today, hours, or days. So how in the world can you, in real time, examine a guy for a concussion and say, okay, go back in the game? If we don't know if you're going to have symptoms later on, so obviously.
But what made them keep him out again? Did Pickett go to them and say, "I don't feel right"?
Probably.
He must have.
Either
symptoms can come up. You should have learned that Sidney Crosby
I
situation.
was there. I didn't see it on TV. Will, you're up in the press box. Maybe saw a replay. When I watched him walk off the field, he looked like he had suffered another concussion.
Right.
Like, it wasn't as dramatic as Tua falling back down, but he looked like he was punch drunk.
Right.
So exactly. So I don't understand in 5 minutes how they could diagnose and say, oh, actually, he's fine.
They can't. That's the whole point. But the NFL will never have a rule. See, what the rule should be, if you want to be safe and sensible.
They're done for the rest of the game.
Yeah. If I even suspect that you have a concussion to the point where I'm going to examine you.
Well, they should have suspected that from the way he walked off the field.
Then you're done for the game.
All right, we're going to go to a break on that. When we come back, we're going to talk about what happens next week, and for that matter, what happens for the next 4 weeks with regard to some of the elite players who've been banged up. Should they continue to play? And Roquan Smith, he was a big factor today. The Steelers could have made a play. They chose not to on him. Instead, it was the Ravens who made a trade. We'll talk about that and more as we continue right here with the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.
#1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran. Go one better.